again. Switching jerseys now. As I mentioned, of course, in this mini-series, you're going to get to see me in all 3 Barracuda Resurgence era jerseys. The first 3, we on the blackout. For these next 3, we're going to be in the ice jersey. Yeah. Yes, yeah, yeah, friend, yeah. Ice. Yeah. Okay, so this is a really good one today because we're going to be looking back on our Pacific Division Championship. Yeah, because we do have a banner to our name, and in fact, before Texas Arena opened in 2022, if you've ever been to SAP Center, you will have seen there was an additional banner up in the rafters of SAP Center, and that, of course, was the Barracuda's Pacific Division Championship from the 2016-17 season. So in just our second season, the Barracuda goes from narrowly clinching the last playoff spot in the Pacific Division to becoming the Kings of the Pacific. Oh, that's what we've got to call it, shall we? Yeah. Oh, we've got to call it that. Absolutely, yes. Kings of the Pacific. Oh, I love that, Frenzy. Need to go write that down real quick. Make a note of that, Frenzy. Real quick. Go. Make a note of it. Alright. Yeah, so we do have a division banner to our name. And it is now up in the rafters in Texas Arena. I did spot it when we were there, when we did have our first visit to Texas Arena. I did spot the banner there. It looks a bit lonely now. We need more banners. Frenzy, we need to win more, we need to win more stuff. We need to win more stuff. It's lonely now. Because now it's in Texas Arena, it now feels a bit lonely. So let's retire some players' names. We need to add more banners to that. It's a bit lonely. Yeah. But honestly, just amazing. So in our second season, we ended up winning the division. Impressive record too. If you look at the record, Frenzy, overall, under 68 games in that season, the Barracuda notched up 43 wins. That is up from 12 in their first season. They only had 31 wins versus up. Yeah. 16 regulation losses. That's down 10 in year 1. 4 overtime losses. That's down 4 in year 1. And 5 shutout losses. That is up 2 from year 1. For a total of 95 points. A .699 points percentage. Now you look at the goals averages. So goals scored, 232 goals, which I don't think's been beaten, and 136 conceded. In fact, let's just check Frenzy. That goal sport has not been beaten since. And I think that's also... No. The goals against has been beaten. That's not the lowest goal against we had, Frenzy. But yeah, but that goal sport, it's not been beaten ever since. So 232 goals, impressive there. And made a run all the way through to the Western Conference Finals, but then obviously losing to the eventual Carl Cup champion for that year, the Grand Rapids Griffins. We're going to come on to our first playoff series win on the next show. So, for now, it's on the division final. And just such a big improvement, because obviously, the first year, 4th in the division, they narrowly get the last playoff spot in the Pacific. And then you go from that to, in fact, you look at how many goals they scored in the first year, Frenzy. In year 1, we had 198, scored 198 goals in the first year. And then you increase that by 10-fold in year 2. It's absolutely just impressive. Yeah, so we do have, so if you ever go to Texas Arena, you will see our division banner up there. like I say, it's a bit lonely now. It does need some friends. It does need a few more bars now up in the rafters. But yeah. So it's a bit of a good look on that. So yeah. So the Barracuda clinched its first Pacific Division title in team history after the it is on April 9th, 2017. So they clinched it after the San Diego Gulls failed 3-1 in Ontario. Now, at the time, through 64 games, San Jose holded the AHL's best winning percentage with a record of 42, 15, 3, and 5. So this was literally right towards the tail end of the season. We managed to clinch the title. The title, if I remember right, the title race went down to the wire. So to be able to clinch that with 4 games still to go was just brilliant, because you could just feel this team's going to have a really good Calder Cup run. So to get that talent on that with just like 4 games to go in the season, it's brilliant work. Yeah, it's brilliant. So the Barracuda took over the best winning percentage in the AHL during its 14-game winning streak from January the 25th to March the 1st, and had not looked back since, going 27-7-1-2 since January the 1st. The Barracuda are the first team in the AHL to clinch a division title, and they could also win the Western Conference with a victory over Stockton the next day. And after that game, there was only 3 games remaining in the regular season. So, brilliant work to clinch that title with like 4 games still to play. And I think we did then go on to clinch the Western Conference. It's bizarre, isn't it? Because you have conference standings, but you don't give the conference trophy to the team that did the best in the regular season in the conference. It's caused quite a few hoo-ha's in the NHL, because obviously in Nashville, when the Predators won the President's Trophy in the 17-18 season, it also meant they were top of the Western Conference, and so they decided to hoist a Western Conference banner. But you didn't win the Western Conference that year. You were the best in the conference. You were the top seed in the conference. I think the Rangers have also done it. I think I did see some the other day, but the Rangers have done it as well, given the fact that last year they were President's Trophy champions and they raised the Eastern Conference, but you didn't win the Eastern Conference, so it's a hoo-ha. So technically, we've only won 1 trophy, because the Western Conference you don't give to the Western Conference champions in the regular season. You get to the ones in the playoffs. Let's just clarify if we did win it that year, Frenzy. Yeah. So the Barracuda's 2016-17 season will be more successful than its first season, winning 14 consecutive games from January the 15th to March the 1st, and winning the Pacific Division and Western Conference. Goaltender Troy Grosenick won the Bas Baston Award as the AHL's outstanding goaltender. The Barracuda made it to the Western Conference Finals during the 2017 Calder Cup playoffs before being eliminated by the eventual Calder Cup champions for that year, the Grand Rapids Griffins, in 5 games. And that still hasn't made our most successful season in terms of playoffs. In fact, that's the only time we have managed to advance from the first round. We've only advanced from the first round once in, that was in 2017. Because you can't count 2021, because 2021 was a division playoff format. It was a preliminary, which we had to be in, and then we were in the straight to semi-finals against the Horses. So you can't really count 2021. That also was a first round exit, even though it was only a 2-round series. But yeah, so I don't get why we had to be why they had a preliminary round, Frenzy. That I really don't. Should have, because Right, the preliminary round was just us. And then the bottom feeders. Henderson, Bakersfield, San Diego, they all got punched their tickets. They got buys. And we, being the 4th place seed, had to then go in the preliminary. It was a bit unfair. It should have been just the top seed that got the bye, and then everyone else, like how it is in our division right now. Only the top should have the bye, and then everyone else faces off. I know, it's bizarre, like, yeah, I know. But then again, it was COVID, so we had to improvise. We got a plot that year, but no, that's still been our... So we were the best team in the Western Conference in the regular season, but ultimately did not win the Western Conference. That's why there's not a Western Conference banner up in the rafters. It's very simple. If you won the trophy, you can hoist the banner. If you did not win the trophy, don't hoist the banner. There again, friends, the Nashville will hoist a banner for anything. They would hoist a banner even for breathing. They would go up in the rafters at Bridgestone Arena. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. I do remember when I first went to Thursday, I did see the banner, and I was a bit thrown off at first because I didn't recognise it because it had the old logo. Yeah. Which we've already said I'm not a fan of. I'm not a fan of the old logo. I prefer the current logo. I prefer this logo. With Sharky, I don't mind either logo. The old logo, the current logo, I don't mind either though. But with you, Frenzy, it has to be this logo only. The old one I just did not like. I really didn't. And I think we had just made the switch to the current logo. So that's why at first I didn't recognise it. And then eventually towards the end I was like, oh, yeah, of course, yeah. I remember now. Especially it was the prior season. So, yeah. But again, I wasn't expecting us to raise a banner. No, because, you know, what is the, I mean, it's tricky, isn't it, when teams share venues, isn't it? Because what do you do when you've got championships? Do you raise the banner or do you not raise the banner? I mean, it's like right now with me, Frenzy, with the Minnesota Frost being in the Wilds arena. We did during last season raise an inaugural banner up to commemorate our inaugural season, and hopefully by now we should have a World Cup Championship banner. There we go. I know it's tongue talk. Hopefully by now we should have a World Cup Champions banner up there. But it just bugs a bit weird because it's like, what do you do if teams in all the buildings keep winning all the championships? You run out of room. There again, I don't think the Wild would win anything meaningful for some time. Do you? No. So we can get away with it. Yeah. That's not a dig at you, Nordy. It's a fact. Okay, it's a fact. Okay. The best the Wild have done since my 16 years now being in the extra is going into the second round. So there you go. Yeah. So I know they'll be seeing this. Like, you've got to be nice to Naughty now. I'm still trying to get used to it. It's only year 2. Give me another 5 years. Then I'll have learned to be nice and naughty. But it's still, the PHL's still young. It's only year 2. Give me more time. Okay. Yeah, so if you have been to SAP so between 2017 and 2022, you will have seen our Pacific Division banner at the rafters, and then obviously when Texas Arena opened in 2022, the banner moved to Texas Arena, so it's now there at Texas Arena, and it'd be easier for you to spot because it's the only banner up there. If we ever retire players' numbers, Frenzy, then that'd be fine, because right now it just looks... I remember when we were at Texas Arena and we saw the banner, I just thought, oh my god, it just looks so lonely. It's like, it needs a friend. It needs a buddy. It needs another... But of course, we weren't really in a position where we could really challenge for anything right now, given how crowded our division is. I'm like, it needs some extra buddies. It needs something up there to go with it. Maybe, hold on. Yeah, turn around. Maybe retire Frenzy's number. There you go. So you know how, of course, Frenzy's got the number 15 on his jersey here. Yeah. So unlike Sharky, Frenzy does him a number. Maybe they should retire Frenzy's number, so no one can be allowed to wear 15 in at the back at Taxi Arena. Maybe they should do that. Yeah, it just feels so lonely. I know, and you're in agreement too, Frenzy. It just kind of feels so lonely. I'm like, what can we do to maybe not make it feel like a lonely banner? You know, I mean, it's just, yeah, I mean, yeah. So that's the only option I can think of, Frenzy, right now. But yeah, but honestly, this was a huge achievement, and I remember at the time literally just blown away because I wasn't really sure what to make going into year 2, because obviously year 1 was okay, but we didn't do as well as we could have done, and then you head into year 2, and the script completely flips, and we go from being just scraping by to Kings of the Pacific. It's just an amazing accomplishment, and you know, it's something to be, you know, so proud of. Because you think maybe it would have taken maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 seasons for the Barracuda to be in a position where they could challenge for silver. Not literally year 2. But yeah, but that was just the success of it. And you saw the difference maker from having this team in San Jose. Because in Worcester, they got nowhere. In fact, did they ever win anything as the Worcester Sharks, Frenzy? Should we lock that up real quickly to sort of round this off? Let's look that up. Yeah. Okay. So the Worcester Sharks. No, it doesn't look like anything there, Frenzy. No. Let's have a look. So it came to Worcester in... Let's see... In 2006. So let's have a look there, Frenzy, shall we? Oh yeah! Yeah, they have. They won something. Okay, so in the 2009-10 season, which was the year the Sharks made it to the Western Conference Finals, but losing to the eventual Stanley Cup champion Chicago Blackhawks, Worcester did come first in the Atlantic Division. So there we go. But that's the only thing they've won. They did not make the playoffs that frequently either. They made the playoffs for the first time in 2007, lost in the first round. But they qualified again in 2009, made it to the second round. Then the following year, again, out in the second round. And that was it. Until 2015, when they lost the first round. So they'd only made 4 playoff appearances in more than 9 years being in Worcester. But they did win at least one thing. So there you go. So we're currently tied with Worcester there on terms of silverware. But unlike Worcester, we've still got more time left to try and get some more. But yeah. There you go. So it's been quite a while since a AXL team for San Jose had won something there, Frenzy. So there you go. You ended the drought. you ended the drought there. Although you've now since then created a new drought. But ayo, I mean, we're still part of it, and it's just such a huge achievement. And of course, the banner is there. You know, it's pride and place up in Texas Arena, and of course, it's a very historical banner now because of course it has the old logo on. I always find it's quite sentimental when you see, because obviously throughout every single team's history, they will have a rebrand every now and then. I always do think it does get quite sentimental when you see in some teams their banners, and you see some of them back when they had their previous logo. I always think it's quite sentimental. It kind of makes that banner feel a bit more historical because that had a previous logo compared. Right. I think all of ours just have the same logo, if I remember rightly. So even back, I know. So even because yeah, if you look at Sharky's Tally Frenzy. There's our banners. If you ever go to SAP Centre, having a look at the banners, and you'll notice they're all very uniform. They're all pretty much of the same style. Unlike some teams with their Stanley Cup bars, which then kind of sort of go out of place. So yeah, so you look at Sharky's whole Hold on. Yeah. So you can see we've got championships going all the way back to the early 2000s where we had the old logo. I'm not sure the old logo is still on those banners, but they're pretty much all the same. So I always do think you see a banner with an old logo on. I think that makes that banner a bit more historical. You know, because it just reflects the time that was in, you know, and you know, and the original Barracuda logo actually did not last long. I think it was my first year my first trip to San Jose when they changed it, but changed it for the better. So yeah, so like I said, I just prefer the one on Frenzy's jersey here, which is the current logo. I just prefer that more than the original one. But the original logo is on the championship banner. On the original banner, it's on there because obviously that is what we wore when we won it. So yeah, So I look for it next time at Texas Arena. It's up there and it is such a thing of beauty, you know. And we've come close since then to repeating as champions. And in fact, this week we can lead you on. Okay. Because in the 2018-19 season, which was the last time the Barracuda made it to the Color Cup playoffs, we came second in the Pacific Division with a record of 39, 22, 3, 4 for a total of 85 points. Shall I look at who won the division that year, Frenzy? See the margins? Yeah. Let me get it up. Hold on. Of course, that was the season when Charlotte won the whole thing. So absolutely every single trophy on offer, which is a lot more doable in the AHL than it is in the NHL, by the way. Okay, so in that year, it was the Bakersfield Condors who were the Pacific Division with 89 points. So there was 4 points there. That was the next time we came close to winning the division. I don't think we've come close since then, Frenzy, my friend. No. I say that's the only time we've come close to winning the Pacific Division there. So there you go. But it is such a beautiful, it's a beautiful banner, and we're just of course so proud of that achievement. So, speaking of achievements, our next show is going to be another achievement, and that is of course mentioning playoffs. On the next show, we're going to look at the Barracuda's first ever playoff series win in the playoffs. Because obviously in their first year in the playoffs in 2016, they were eliminated in the first round by the Ontario Reign. And then the following season, that was when they would find perfect success. And of course, the 2017 Carl Cup run, it has been the only time that the Barracuda have got out of the first round. In 2017, we may always reach the conference finals, but since then, we have not managed to get out of the first round. So, in the next show, we're going to look at what was the Barracuda's first ever playoff series win, which came against our old division rivals, who of course are sadly no longer with us because they're now living in Calgary. I know. I actually do miss Stockton. I really do. I do miss them. It was against the Stockton Heat. So it was our first ever playoff series win. We're going to reflect that on the next episode. But until we meet again for that next show, I think all that's left to say is... until next time, all says and so will leave you now.